The instructions for a woodworking project call for 3 pieces of wood. The longest piece must be twice the length of the middle-sized piece, and the shortest piece must be 10 inches shorter than the middle-sized piece. If Maria has a board 70 inches long, how long must each piece be? All right, so let's start with that last sentence. There's a lot going on here, but let's start with the last sentence because this is identifying what is unknown, or in this case, what are the multiple unknowns in the problem. How long must each piece be? That's the question that we are answering here. So there's 3 unknowns. The problem references the long piece, the middle piece, and the short piece. So we have 3 unknowns here. You could say the length of the short piece, that's unknown. The length of the middle piece, that is unknown, and the length of the long piece. All right, so that's 3 unknowns, and one of those, we're going to just call one of those x. So we basically, let's think about what's going on here. We have, I'll keep the diagram very simple. We have one long piece of wood that is 70 inches long. And that piece is cut into a small piece, a medium piece, and a long piece. So let's put some little ends on there so we could clearly see. Okay. Now, what do we know? Well, if we look at that second sentence, the longest piece must be twice the length of the middle piece. Okay, so there's a relationship between the long piece and the middle piece. That's what that sentence says. And we also know the shortest piece, so down here, the shortest piece must be 10 inches shorter than the middle piece. So that sentence, or that statement, is telling us there's a relationship between the short piece and the middle piece. So it looks like if we knew the length of the middle piece, that will tell us the length of the long piece, and it would also tell us the length of the short piece. So because the middle piece is related to both the long and the short one, let's call the middle one x. All right, so let me erase this so we have some room to work. All right, so going back to the problem, the longest piece must be twice the length of the middle piece. Well, how long is the middle piece? X inches. So the longest piece must be twice that. So twice that would be 2x inches. And then it says the shortest piece must be 10 inches shorter than the middle piece. Oh, sorry, the length of the long piece is the 2x, that goes down here. Sorry, and the length of the short piece is 10 inches less than the middle piece, so 10 inches less than x, or x minus 10. All right, so this is important. This is an important first step in setting up the problem, is identifying our variables. And this is always what I do first in a word problem. Now we have to translate the words into an equation. And that's actually coming right from this let's go back to right from this diagram here. So it looks like if we take the length of the short piece, which is x minus 10, the length of the middle piece, which is x, and the length of the long piece, which is 2x, the 3 of those lengths should add up to 70. Okay, so the short plus the medium plus the long lengths together, the sum of those should give you 70. So we could say x minus 10 plus x plus 2x should equal 70. So we've basically taken the word problem and translated from English into mathematical notation. Now it's no longer a word problem, now it is a mathematical equation to solve. So we could start off by simplifying the left-hand side. We've got an x there, we've got an x there, we've got a 2x there. So those like terms, we could combine them. 1x plus 1x plus 2x, so that's a total of 4x's. So we could say 4x minus 10 is equal to 70. And now we have to solve for x. So it looks like we could do this in 2 steps. We'll apply the addition rule first. To eliminate this minus 10, we'll do the opposite, which is a plus 10. So we'll go ahead and add 10 to both sides. That way the minus 10 and the positive 10, they'll cancel. And on the left, we have just the 4x. And on the right, 70 plus 10 will give us 80. So now we're solving for x. We actually right now have 4 times x. So to eliminate the times 4, we will divide by 4. So the times 4 divide by 4, they cancel. And so on the left side, we have x. And on the right side, 80 divided by 4 will give us 20. Now make sure you're not stopping when you solve for x. Just because you solve x equals 20 doesn't mean you answered the question. And of course, in this case, we haven't, because the question is, how long must each piece be? So now that we know x is equal to 20, there's the short piece, there's the medium piece, and there's the long piece. Well, originally, we called the middle piece x, or the length of the middle piece x. So the length of the middle piece, oops, I don't want to write x again. We know x is now equal to 20. The short piece is 10 less than that, or x minus 10. Well, in this case, 20 minus 10, which is 10. Let's give it some units. 20 inches, 10 inches. And the long piece is twice the length of the middle piece. The middle piece we know now is 20, so twice that would be 40. And that does it for our answer. Let's just double check to make sure we're right. 40 plus 20 is 60, plus 10 more is 70, and that gives us the 70 that we're supposed to have. Well, it looks like it works out. All right, that does it for this problem. I hope it was helpful.